can hear his voice in the open for ROH. The voice of Ring of Honor Professional Wrestling is Kevin Kelly, and he joins us here on ESPN 1000 and ESPNChicago.com. Saw the pay-per-view Best in the World from Nashville. They're still replaying that thing on Friday and Saturday. If you're looking for something to do over the weekend, the replays are still there if you missed it. And the voice of Ring of Honor, Kevin Kelly, joins me, Jonathan Hood, on ESPN 1000. Kevin, thanks for being with me.
Hey, it's great. It's great to be with you. And for me, it's spicy brown and sriracha. That's where I go on the hot dog scale there.
Is that all that you'd have for the hot dog?
That's pretty much the go-to, you know. Mm-hmm. I've got them right next to each other in the condiment rack and the refrigerator, so it's an easy grab, you know, and then we can get down to business. You know, Joey Chestnut, how do you not vote for him as a great American? Tomorrow he's going to shine, right?
Well, at least that's what's supposed to happen, right? Whether it's dry or whether it's the other way, he's more than likely going to win that thing. It's an easy bet.
I want to see hurricane winds blowing. I want to see the elements brought into this thing. It'll be a whole new element. It'll just be awesome.
You can follow Kevin on Twitter, @RealKevinKelly, the voice of Ring of Honor Wrestling. We want to have you on, Kevin, because I was blown away by Ring of Honor and the last pay-per-view you guys had for Best in the World. How much fun was that? First, again, ROH has been on for a long time. It's been on iPay-per-view, I've seen it for years, but on pay-per-view from Nashville, what was that like?
Well, it was great. You know, it was the first time that I had been part of a pay-per-view broadcast since WrestleMania 17, and the first time in my 23-year career that I actually called the play-by-play on a live, traditional Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time pay-per-view broadcast. So I was psyched. I was thrilled for the guys. The majority of the roster made their pay-per-view debut, but even the veterans like Matt Hardy and Maria Kanellis, you know, they were all excited too. So, great atmosphere, real special time going on. Ring of Honor's red hot right now. We've got just an incredible mix of young guys and veterans and excitement, athleticism, all rolled into one.
Kevin, I just think, and I tweeted this out to you after the pay-per-view, I just think that you, Steve Corino, when Nigel McGuinness takes the mic, I think that it's the best booth in the business. I don't think there's any question about it, because it's that balance of giving you the storyline, what's going on. Steve is zany and crazy, but also gives you some of the in-ring stuff. And Nigel McGuinness is just solid. I just think that you guys are the best right now.
Well, thank you. I agree with you because, and a lot of times, you know, we have the tendency to be our most harsh critic. If we go back and we listen to ourselves, whether it's an air check or something like that, or if we watch back ourselves, and it's like, oh, I could have done that better. I went back and I listened to what we did at Best in the World, and I would agree. And the reason is because it's kind of like Ring of Honor as a whole. They let us do our thing, just like we let the wrestlers do their thing. You know, there's no restrictions. There's no heavy hand of the office telling them what they can and what they can't do. And that's where everything just works the best, because we just let the athletes go out there and prove who is the best night after night, match after match, and just go out there and try to top one another.
Kevin Kelly, the voice of Ring of Honor Wrestling, with Jonathan Hood on ESPN 1000 and ESPNChicago.com. As a matter of fact, ROH will be in town August 23rd for Death Before Dishonor. That weekend, it's at Chicago Ridge at the Frontier Fieldhouse. Really, really exciting building. Frontier Fieldhouse, always sold out, so you got to get your tickets early for that event. I want to get your opinion on something that Jim Ross said in his recent podcast. I think he said it multiple times. He feels that ROH should focus themselves as being a farm system for the WWE and for TNA. Do you agree with that assessment? Because I don't.
I don't agree with that assessment. I think that what Ring of Honor is it's its own standalone product. There are going to be guys that no doubt will go and seek greener pastures in the WWE. Our hope is that we build up Ring of Honor's business to a level enough to where the guys can make a living enough competing and proving that they are the best in doing what they want to do. If they want to go and ply their wares in the WWE, go for it, if that's what you want to do. As far as being a feeder system or a farm system, no thanks. We'll stand on our own, and we'll put our product against anybody else's any night of the week. TNA isn't even in the conversation, Jonathan. I mean, to me, what they put on television, it should be, there ought to be a law against it. It's so bad. And fans talk to me all the time, and they talk about, WWF is the best. There's no doubt about it. But as far as number two, to me, there's no question it's Ring of Honor. And I'm a homer, so I can say that. But every fan that I've ever talked to, no one ever says, hey, TNA is better than Ring of Honor. I never hear that be said.
How much has the business changed since you were in WWF?
Oh, my gosh, it's changed tremendously. It has, but at the same time, I think we're on a very special period right now. I think that when you look at the type of athletes that we have, younger guys, very athletic guys, when I was in the WWE, you had the absolute pinnacle of the wrestling war between WWE and WCW. The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, the NWO, Sting, Randy Savage, Ric Flair on that side. It was the biggest rivalry, one of the biggest rivalries in all of sports, let alone in the history of professional wrestling. Now it's a new time and a new era with a lot of young guys that are getting ready to bust out on their own. And guys like AJ Styles, who's a veteran, Christopher Daniels, who's a veteran, the Briscoes, who are veterans, are going to lead that wave, I think, over the next few years. They'll be part of the action at, Death Before Dishonor that whole weekend. The Young Bucks, they're going to be part of the mix as well. There's so much good young talent out there. It's just scary. I think we're getting ready for a tremendous renaissance, I would say, in professional wrestling right now.
I love the young roster because it's not just young guys, but also mixed with veterans as well. I'm a big fan of it. I have a favorite. I think Silas Young, because I've been watching wrestling since the middle 70s, going to the International Amphitheater with my dad watching wrestling. So it's always been something I've kept my eyes on. Silas Young, I think, could be in any generation. I just think that his persona is like, the last of the old school type wrestlers. And I just think that his little program here with Kevin Steen works. I'm a big fan of Silas Young. I think the sky's the limit for him. Do you agree?
Oh, completely agree. You and I are very much, in sync here when it comes to our viewpoints on wrestling. What we've seen from Silas Young, he's been just a rock-solid, consistent performer. Great matches night in and night out, and now stepping up. How does he step up in that deep end of the pool against a Kevin Steen? He proved it best in the world. He's got every bit the skill that Steen does, and I think the sky's the limit for Silas Young. The ball is going to be in his court. He is going to get the opportunity to run with the ball. That's one of the best things about Ring of Honor, is that new talent, different talent, young talent, they get to shine. And Silas is a veteran, but this is the best opportunity that he's ever had in his career.
And I hope to talk to you as we get closer to Death Before Dishonor when it comes to Chicago Ridge on August 23rd. I'd love to have you in studio or talk to you because this should be a fun event.
It's going to be a blast. Part of the huge weekend. Milwaukee on the 22nd, Chicago Ridge at the Frontier Fieldhouse the next night, the 23rd. Tickets on sale right now at ROHWrestling.com. As I said, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, the Briscoes. The cards are going to be stacked. It's going to be a huge weekend, and I would definitely love to come to the studio. That'd be great.
Kevin, as always, we appreciate it, man. Hope to talk to you again soon.
All right, will do. Take care.
It is Kevin Kelly. You can follow him on Twitter at RealKevinKelly, the voice of Ring of Honor Wrestling.